Good afternoon, everybody. It's Wednesday evening, 7:38 p.m. We're a little bit early tonight. We've got an amazing barber coming on, but Sean Sweeney, Sweeney HQ, SweeneyTV. We have got JK the barber coming on tonight. We're going to be talking everything barbering, checking out what he's been doing, and we're going to go from there. So, JK, how are you, brother?
I'm good, my bro, and you? Long time.
Long time no see, brother. So
yes.
This is the first interview we've done on the YouTube. So this is going to be saved unlike the last interview.
Yes.
So a brief introduction, brother, on when you got started, and we'll go from there.
So I've been qualified since February 2015. I did my course at Aylesbury College. I actually learned in the same class as Kieran the barber. He was there with me for a little bit. And so that's really my journey. And then I have my shop now 5 years this year. So I came out of college. I opened the shop pretty straight after college and been working ever since.
Brilliant. And where are you actually located to now, brother?
We're based in Northwest London, Edgware. So if anyone's in London, come through and see us. Yeah,
of course, definitely. And so JK, going into sort of barbering and why did you get into it, brother?
So it was a difficult time in my life, actually, where I learned. So I actually learned while I was in prison. And so I've always liked hair. I loved my barber. Big up Stassi Barbers, who is an archery, who has a training academy. He was my barber at the time, and I loved barbering. But at the time I wanted to get into it, I always felt like it was a difficult industry to get into. I found myself at a dark place, and I was at Spring Hill Prison, open prison at the time, and I got on the barbering course, and that's where I met Kieran the barber at Aylesbury College. I met Baldy Barbers, and these guys really inspired me when I was in college, learning barbering. And the more I did it, the more I got better at it, the more I really enjoyed it. And when I got released, I went and did a bit more training at London School of Barbering and Total Barber before working for 2 places, before opening my own shop. But it's not a job for me. Like, this is passion, this is enjoyment. I enjoy it, you know? So it's something that I just enjoyed when I was at college. I really enjoyed it at college. And I knew from the minute I picked up the first clipper on the first student's head, and then went back to prison, started cutting the guys in the prison's hair and the prison officer's hair. I was like, this is it. I knew this was my calling. Considering to what I was doing before, if you'd have asked me 6 years ago would I have been a barber, I'd have laughed, because what I was doing before was nowhere near barbering. But now, wow, it's an amazing job.
Wow, man, wow. And obviously the SweeneyTV fans want to know, what was it like cutting hair in prison, bro?
It's harder than cutting hair in the shops, because if you mess someone's hair up in prison, it's a problem for you, you know? So, like, you got to think the pressure's on, because these guys have got a visit on the Saturday or Sunday, or they're going home for the weekend. So if you mess up their trim, it's a problem for you. And you get paid less. You're getting paid a can of mackerel, which is £1.55. So you're getting paid a hell of a lot less. But if you mess up their trim, it's a problem for you. So you got to be on your A game. And you're using tools that you're not allowed, like, they're not good tools. You're using rubbish tools. There's no razors. There's no cutthroats. That we had to use the Bic razor, break it off to do the shape up. Like, real old school kind of methods. But hey, you got to do what you got to do.
It sounds like cutting in the dark ages, brother, doesn't it? It's like, you know,
I'm telling you.
Blade off. And...
I knew them because we never had scissors. So when we were doing like top cuts in the cell, you have to pull out the hair and use the clipper to go across. So to do all your club cutting like that, so you had to make sure you was on point, because if you messed up, it's a big problem. But I figured if I learned that way and I could do that, I could walk into a shop. So it wouldn't have been a problem.
Well, JK, listen, obviously going on to the subject of tools, brother. Obviously, you know, I bought some tools off you over the past couple of years, some Barbershop Perfect. Really happy with the product, still got them now, still keeping them clean, keeping them going. And you know, like tools in our industry, brother, you know, what the evolution of it, you've seen it from first hand, brother. What's your thoughts on tools now?
I mean, right now, I feel like the tools are just elevating, which is great. For me, as a consumer like you who loves all tools, it's great to see that every time someone releases a machine, another company elevate. Now, for me, there's only two companies who are not elevating, and that's Anderson Wool. I feel like they're being left behind by Gamma, Babylus, and JRLs because these guys are elevating and pushing and pushing and pushing. Whereas I feel like, I mean, Andy's just released the T outline, the cordless black skeleton, but we've been skeletoning those machines from the dawn of day. So I feel like they haven't really released anything new. And we'll release the Soul Clipper, like the senior in a black Disney case, like who cares? So I feel like the only companies really that are really taking it to the next level is Gamma, Babylus, and JRLs, who are really striving in the game and are leaving the two leading market industries. You know, Wall and Andis were the biggest when we first got into the game. So it's good to see. It's a shame that they're going backwards, but I think now any barber getting into the game has got such a mixed array of options to use. And it's amazing to see, you know, like me and you could use the same machine and have different opinions on it. Some people like the fine tooth blade, some people like a graphite blade, some people like a fade blade, some people like a tape blade. So it's just amazing right now. I think everyone, if you're getting into barbering right now, you have the greatest options ahead of you in terms of tools. Whereas when we learned, we had no options. It was Wall or Andis and we're good to go. That's it, you know, and it was corded.
Well, bro, when I started, it was super tapers.
Yeah.
Oysters, the really expensive oysters, which are like £25 a blade. I think they're £35 now.
Yeah.
And we're talking serious money if you want the top clippers.
Exactly.
Nowadays, there's so much expansion, like you said. There's so much expansion there, brother.
Exactly.
Tools which are coming out, but obviously, like, what would you say? America are leading the charge with the clippers?
Oh, 100%, man. Like, as you know, I'm trying to get out there to CT Expo this year on the 15th of August, and if they do go, you know, I'm shopping for you to be dropping. So I try to go every year, but even the show, like, big up J Major, my guy, like, he puts on the best shows in the whole of the world. I don't care who runs any shows in the UK. You do not do it like J Major. I'm sorry. His show is unbelievable. And so, like, the evolution of just the tools, anything like accessory-wise that we use on our stations, America are up there. They just continuously develop everything for ease of use for the barbers. Whereas here, we're so backwards from even stuff like neck brushes, like or fade brushes. These guys take things to another level. So I think we're miles behind when it comes to developing tools and accessories and mats. I mean, look at Bossio. Big up Chris Bossio, my guy, who created the charging mat. No one in the UK thought about doing something like that. And so that only comes hand in hand because the Americans make the cordless machines and stuff like that. So we are way behind. But we're just consumers. We buy everything that Americans make when we should be making our own.
Yeah, and that's one thing which I want to talk to you about. Like, Wal and Andis have got UK branches. They've gone quiet, bro. What's going on with them? So the Americans...
I just don't know if they care enough about the development, because what I realize is if you look at Babylus UK and Babylus US, they're two different companies, right? Even Andis UK is run by a grooming company in England. But Andis UK has got a massive company in the US, right? So it feels like the companies are two different companies. So you got Babylus UK, which is, I think, Barber Blades. I think they run the Babylus UK team. And that's why you don't really see the support that the educators get in the US from their company to the UK educators to get over here. So there is a big difference between the US brands and the UK brands, and Andis and Wall are way behind now in terms of machines. You know, like if you look at like Gamma, for example, big up Gamma, they were the first company to come and do the customizations. And we all about customization. Now, you know, you got I don't know, a color theme in your shop. You want your clippers to match that. So they were the first people to make that happen. And Wall are so far behind. Andis are so far behind. Why are they not falling in line with everybody else? But they think that obviously they know what they're doing. They've been around a long time. People obviously still buy their machines. They're a trusted brand, but I feel like they are going way behind in the game.
I totally agree, brother. I totally agree. But you know, people want to hear some exclusive stuff at the moment. And I saw you the other day having a little bit of a bash in your shop. I imagine that was to celebrate the Fast 9 show you were doing.
Yeah, so that was the second movie. So we wrapped it up in 2019, but obviously due to my non-disclosure, we weren't allowed to discuss it until the movie came out, which they came out this year. But that was the second movie I've done Fast and Furious 9. I was the official barber on Fast and Furious 9. So big up to Lisa for putting me on the show. Big up Tyrese, who I'm his barber. He plugged me onto Fast 9. Prior to that, we done a Marvel movie called Morbius, which comes out in January 2022. I just wrapped up another set with CBS Studios, which I can't discuss yet, but that will come out soon. And yeah, man, I'm blessed. I really am blessed that this celebrity stuff's come through.
So let's talk about being on the Fast 9 set, bro. What was it like? Start off, tell us what happened. You woke up in the morning. You know, did you have butterflies? You know, what was
it was crazy. So I finished Tyrese doing Morbius. Then I went to New York on a holiday, came back and did my charity boxing match. And then he phoned me and said, look, I'm going to bring you on Fast 9. I was like, wow, he actually remembered me. Okay, this is great. Okay, cool. So I went to cut his hair at the hotel the night before shooting. And so Morbius was pretty much done at his home the whole time. Sometimes it's done at the studio. So I didn't think I was going to go on film set. And then his manager reached out and said, look, we need you on set. So initially, I was just Tyrese's barber on set. And then when I went to set the first day, yeah, it was definitely nerve-wracking. Obviously, you don't know who you're looking for. You don't know where you're going. And all I know is Tyrese. I don't know anyone else. So the first day was great. I did Ludacris on the first day, Tyrese, a couple other cast members, Han, and a few other guys. And it was amazing. You know, that whole team, I'll be honest, I'll say to you, like, big up Slider Cuts because he was on the same set with me as well, and FFA. These guys will tell you it was one of the most easiest sets to be on. And every set I've been on since doesn't compare because it was just like family. It was just so easy. It was blessed, man. It was lovely. The team was great. You know, you work on the star, then they go on to hair and makeup, makeup and styling and clothing. So your job is really quick. And then you go on set if they need you to do anything more on set. But it was super easy.
Brother, that's our motto. We haven't got friends, we've got family. That's our
bro. It was so easy to work with this team because, you know, I went on to another set recently, which I won't mention, and it was a nightmare. And I think it's because I'm judging it based on how amazing Fast 9 was and how easy the transition was, because the hair and makeup team, Lisa and Amanda, who run it, I've got an amazing team. And so it was super dope with the way that they ran the ship. And the actors were super welcoming and loving and easy to work with. No actor had an ego. No actor was bougie or wouldn't let you trim their hair or none of that. It was real easy. All of them, big up all of them. They were all super cool. And I made some really good friends off that. So it's good.
So what would you say the feeling was like? Is that, obviously there's no animosity in there, but like, do you feel like these guys are multimillionaires, you know, actors, or do you just feel like they're part of the boys?
They definitely are multimillionaire actors, obviously, because they're getting paid millions to do these films. But what I will say, and I said it to a client this week, was prior to going on film sets, I felt that actors got paid way too much for what they did. Now, being on set all day, every day with these actors, I mean, there was I can imagine one time when we was in Edinburgh shooting, we must have shot the same scene about 30 times. And Tyrese and Luda had to get up into scene, get up into character, go in and do this action scene and talking scene about 30 times and be on job every single time. And it's tiring, it's draining, it's emotionally draining. So I found a new respect for actors. So big up anyone who does an acting job, because I realized actually just how much it takes out of you to be an actor. But for me, it was amazing because I'd watched all Fast movies up until 8, and I never thought that barbering would lead me to be on one of the biggest movies of the year and getting the credits on the end of the credits to be on there. You know, like, it just shows what this job can do by opening. And even this weekend coming up, I've got 3 big stars in town I've got cut. And again, that comes through recognition of Fast 9 and stuff like that. So it's amazing just how these doors open. And I see it. There's guys out there, HD Cut Shoulder, my guy, he's paving the way. A-Star Barbers, Ahmed, they're paving the way. FFA, these guys who are doing tons of celebrity work coming through barbering is inspiring the whole nation to be able to develop. Alan Beak doing the Man City boys, big up Alan, my boy. You know, these guys are inspiring everybody. So there's enough celebrities in the world that everybody can get a piece of the pie.
Definitely, man. And again, like I said, we are family, brother. The Barber family, we are family. Everybody knows that now. That's a good thing. The COVID lockdown has made everybody realise, squash all the beef. We don't need any beef in the industry.
I see. That's where I think the Americans are different to the UK. That I hear what you're saying. There is a few of us that we classify as family. Like we met, me and your family. Alan Beak, I met when I first did I was a student barber of the year in the top 10 student barber year when I first did my barbering course in college, and I met Alan Beak. And since then, 5 years later, we're boys. Baldy and Kieran were boys. But there's a lot of people in this industry who are gassed, who don't want to. They feel they're too big for their boots, right? But then you look in America, and some of these big stars, you know, like big up Pacino and Jay Majors. These guys are my guys. Look how big these are. I can pick up the phone and call them anytime. You know, like the Americans, I feel, is family. The barbering game is family there. But here, I feel like sometimes is a bit of a negativity in how it is. You know, I can always pick up the phone and call HD.
It's a bit of jealousy, I think, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, look at someone like HD and FFA, who I feel are very, very successful in their own right. But I can pick up the phone and show at any time of the night, or Franklin and FFA, and be like, bro, I need some advice on this and whatever. And these guys are busy. These guys are doing celebrities, but they got love for the game. They got love for barbers, you know. And it's like, I wish more of the UK would do that, because there's some barbers and some barbering organizations, which I won't name, who are very cliquey. And it's not family, but the rest of us is all family.
Well, JK, just before I go on to my next question, which is talking about the USA CT Expo, which we'll go on to next, we're going to talk about the UK shows first.
Okay.
So the UK shows, over the years, you've been to a few of them. I met you there a few times. I gave you one of my Sweeney's captain.
Yeah, I still got it in the bedroom right now. I still got it there.
Big respect, brother. But I just want your honest thoughts on the UK show, which people can do better. So don't worry about sort of licking people's asses.
I mean, like for me, when I got into the game, there was only 3 shows. We had Sound International,
Barber UK, and Sound.
Barber UK, yeah, right. So those were the 3 that we had. When I got into, before going to CT, those shows were dope. Those shows were really good. Barber UK, Sound International, Barber UK were the great shows I've ever seen. Having going to CT and seeing just how Jay Major is. Here's where I think the problem is. The shows in the UK are run by non-barbers. They're run by businesses. So therefore, they don't know what barbers and hairdressers want, because they're not barbers or hairdressers. Jay Major is a successful barber. So Jay Major runs a show knowing what barbers need. And so having going to see how we run CT, it's a cut above the rest when it comes to shows. The educational process, I mean, to give you an example, let's go into the CT show conversation quickly. CT runs education in the morning and then expo in the afternoon. But the expo, again, is full of education, competitions, and shopping. But first and foremost is education in the morning. And so you soaking up all this education, then you go to expo. But if you go to Salon or Barber UK or any of these places, you just go straight into expo. You go straight into shopping. You've been on stage, I've been on stage. Sometimes they're watching, sometimes they're not. Like, I'll be honest, I don't feel like I've got any education for any of the UK shows, because there's so much around. Like, there's a million stages with a million people talking and a million people cutting hair that is not very educational. Whereas CT Expo, the education is broken down to, like, you've got business education, you've got booking system education, you've got social media education, you've got finance education, you've got haircuts, obviously, enhancement. So he's covered all the angles of how to make a successful business from a chair or from a shop in education. So you're fully covered when it comes to education. And then you go to Expo and you want to go and buy the best tools or the best accessories. And again, because it's run by barbers.
JK, that is vital information. And do you know what? You are bang on. the amount of times I've gone to shows where I'm on a 4 o'clock or I'm on a 5 o'clock, where I've been there for 2 days already. I've educated at 12 o'clock the one day. The following or the Monday, I'm educating at 5 o'clock where people are going home. You know, these educational tutorials with vital barbers in our industry need to be done first thing in the morning.
Yes. And the other thing I feel like over here, and again, you probably vouch this, is that the main stages, if your face don't fit, you ain't going on big stages in this country. And I see that with the magazines. Like, I'm sorry to mention Barber Evo and other magazines, but it's the same damn barbers that are in these magazines, right? There are talented barbers in this country whose face don't fit, or maybe their color don't fit, or maybe their culture don't fit, but they're not going to get on those magazines. They're not going to get the accolades and the invitations to the big stages. And big up to like Bernice at Fab, because she always gave the platform to the barbers on the smaller stage. You know, like I've been on their stage, you've been on their stage.
Here, bro.
And so she always gave a platform to barbers who had 1 following or 500 following. It doesn't matter, right? But to go on the big stages, I know that I'd never get looked at there because I'm not that type of barber who's going to kiss ass or face don't fit. Whereas me and you will never get put on those shows. But the smaller shows is just too congested in the shows. As you know, you're on one stand and the very next stand, there's another guy doing education. The stand next to you, there's a guy doing education. So how do the consumers consume all this education when there's a million people cutting hair all at the same time?
That's a good point, JK. That's a
I'm
good
telling
point.
you, it's hard.
That's definitely something I'm going to be using with British Master Barbers, brother, because, you know, again, we can't be doing education all day and get it done in the morning. Let the people see what they want to see. And I'm telling you, brother, that is vital information. And JK, thank you for that.
So like the British Master Barber shows for me were probably one of the better ones because when they did it in the hotel in
Crawford,
Crawley or wherever it is, it was smaller. So for me, it was like, okay, you can digest the show and big up to the guys, you know, who've done it because again, I feel they're barbers again, so they understand what barbers need in that sense. So for me, I feel like the show wasn't too congested because it wasn't a massive expo. Whereas I've been to Great British Barber Bash, I didn't like it. It was too dark. It was too congested of things going on. And again, if your face don't fit, I'm sorry, and Gary might come and attack me for this, but if your face don't fit, you ain't getting on there. I look at the lineup this year, it's the same kind of cats, you know, so I just feel like there needs to be more diversity in this industry. And in the UK, we don't get that. But if you look at America, look at Babyless, for example, right? Hawk Vision, who released the Red Influencer. He doesn't have a big social media following. And I know you got his clipper, right? Look at his followers. He's not massive. He's not big. But look how big Vic Blends is. And Vic Blends doesn't have a clipper, but Hawk has a clipper. Why? Because they value the way that Hawk cuts, his work ethic, his skill. But it's not based on who you are, how many numbers you've got, and how many followers you've got. That's what it's based on here. It's based on who you are. Yeah, 100%.
And what you can execute on stage.
Exactly. And Hawk is a wonderful man.
Bearing in mind, Hawk Vision, the reason why Hawk hasn't got many followers, he started a new Instagram literally on the lockdown, because he did have like 28,000 followers.
Which is nothing in compared to Vic
like
Blends, for example.
Rob the original, or Sophie Stay Gold, who were like his partners. Yeah. Exactly.
But Babyless believed in Hawk because of his skill set and because of who he is, not based on how many followers they got and so on and so forth. And the only company that I've seen do that here is Gamma. Gamma, the only company here who, as an ambassador of Gamma and looking at the Gamma ambassadors, they are an array of different ambassadors who have 500 followers to 500,000 followers. It doesn't matter. Phil doesn't pick you based on your numbers. He picks you based on your skill set and what you can bring to the company. So I feel like in America, in the UK, sorry, a lot of barbers get disheartened by the UK shows because they can't get the limelight or the accolades that they deserve because the UK don't pick these guys to go on stages or give them opportunities And that's where the shows go wrong. Whereas
You've
American
got
companies,
to build, JK, you've got to build your own platform. And at the end of the day, if people don't want to take you on to their companies, you keep going. Never give up, guys, especially to the younger people watching.
never.
Keep going, because I've been kicked out of companies and so on. So have you, but we're still going. Do you know what I mean? We're still making moves, bro.
But for me personally, what I'll say to people is there's two types of barbers. There's a barber who wants to be famous, and there's a barber who cares about his craft, right? And so me, I don't care about being famous. I don't care if I get ambassadors, that's great. If I don't, my clients are the most important thing to me. And so my clients are what pays my bills. And so if I'm chasing the fame and I'm not looking after my clients, then I'm not going to make no money. I'm going to get an ambassadorship, but I'm not going to make no money. So for me, it's all about making sure that your clients are on point, your business is on point. And if you get an ambassadorship, that's great. But if you don't, you can be successful, and you will know there's millions of successful barbers who don't have a single endorsement.
That's right.
Or don't even have a social media account, but their business is successful. They got clients in the shop every week, but they're not big on social media. They don't care about social media. They got clientele base, and that's the most important thing, So I think a lot of barbers now, they see the famous barbers and think, okay, I want to be like them. I'm going to enhance the shit out of haircuts. I'm going to enhance everything out of the pictures, but they're losing focus on the main thing, and that's the client.
That's right, brother. Well, again, going into I noticed on the lockdown, you just moved shops.
Yeah, we just moved shops now. Yeah.
You had a wicked shop going, and then within 2 weeks, you were like, right, guys, I'm moving. So I take you must have had some sort of altercation with your landlord where you had to move out quickly, but you did a good job.
Yeah.
You transitioned to a better shop.
Yeah.
And one of the things I want to talk to you about was building staff, because you went there with the two barbers you had in your previous shop. I imagine they were probably a little bit unhappy about moving, but you kept them there, you kept them going, you built them up, and you've added barbers to it, and you've added nails and beauticians. Let's talk about that, JK. Building.
I mean, so for me, we had opportunity so my lease was coming to an end in the small shop, where it was really small, and an opportunity came, and it was just for me, it was like I had the opportunity to go to a bigger shop, and I thought, okay, do I want to take this opportunity and financially invest in this big shop? But big up to FFA, because one of the things when I got into having team members in my shop was how to manage teams, and Carl Hinder as well was another one that gave me some information. Ivan Zoot was another one. These guys gave me some information and advice how to manage teams and stuff, right? So one of the key things for me is building a good team is hard, because I rent chairs out of my shop now. My rent is low compared to other barbers who rent their spaces out. I would rather have less money coming in from these guys and have a long-term team than have charged them a hell of a lot of money and then keep changing my team all the time because they're not making no money, right? So I learned that from Franklin. He showed me the way of how to manage his team. And again, going forward, we added a hairdresser, Angela, AC Hair London. We added Claire with doing eyebrows and Sean doing beauty. And again, I had to take a decision. Look, do I take a higher rent and run the risk that they might stay for a little while and go, or do I go for lower rent, long-term career, and keep them in my team and build a solid team? And I'm blessed to have an amazing team. Biggie Barber's been with me now 2 years. IC Cuts with me for about a year. And obviously Angela now's been with a year. So now the two girls joined in. So there's 5 of us now. And I'm blessed. I'm blessed to have them in my team. It's not easy.
It's good to see, man, because obviously, I see you had a little Barber Bash on the weekend with a few drinks and people. How was that?
It was good. For me, I've done a couple of events so far. The Fast and Furious 9, I rented out the cinema and invited all of my clients and friends and family to come down because, again, without my clients, there's no Fast 9. There's no JK the Barber. So I gave back to my clients. We did another event for the football final. And again, I invited all my clients and friends and say thank you. And same with the shop. Without my clients, there's no shop. So we did a big party on the weekend, invited all my clients down. And again, I'm so blessed to have such an amazing community where I am. I'm glad I'm not on a high street. I don't want to have a high street shop. I'm not one of these bougie salons. You know, I'm so blessed to have an amazing community of clients that I have. And so without them, there's no shop. So I had to give back. I always give back to my clients. You know, they're the first and most important people in my life.
From looking at the videos, it looks like quite an upbeat area. It seems like quite a local community, but like sort of like a town version of London.
Yeah, so we're outside of central London, but my community is definitely a local community and it's a family. So like, you know, all of my people that work in my shop, if I do any work in my shop or for my clients, I don't externally go to a builder outside of my client base. I always utilize my clients. I'd rather put the money in their pocket. The food from the pizzas for the party came from the local shop. So it's all about supporting the local business, supporting local clientele, and trying to help my clients. What do you call it? Going up and up in their business. I try to support all their businesses.
That's good. That's good. And branding, obviously, you've got a great logo. You know, did you design that yourself, or did you bring somebody in to design the logo for you?
So do you know where that came from? Damien Owen. So okay. I remember this. I just not long qualified, and I went to British Master Barbers, my first show, and Damien Owen was talking about branding and products. Now, I love Damien. He's straight down the line. He tells you how it is. If you don't like it, that's your business. So we were talking about products, and I was like, okay, cool. I had a logo, but at this point, I never had products. So Damien talked to me all about branding and talked about all about how the importance of branding is and what you should do with branding. And so because of Damien's conversation, and I took on, when I came to this road, I took on a failed barbershop. It was a guy that was doing £7 trims. And so I needed to differentiate me from him, because although we looked similar in culture, we were miles apart in quality. So I needed to separate myself from people thinking, oh, he's the same. And so Damien was like, no, you got to have your own branding, your own products. And so the first thing I did was make my logo, get my products, get my clothing right. And now people walk in and be like, oh my God, you got your own products. How? How'd you do that? What'd you do? And it's an investment, but it's an investment in yourself, you know? So big up Damien Owen for that advice, because without him, I would never have even thought about going down that line.
Definitely, brother. Well, I always get slated for my caps because people say, oh, why does a barber want to sell baseball caps? And they don't realise it brings about fucking £1,400 a year extra on top of my wages, because people buy the cap, they're 20 quid each.
It's amazing how many barbers don't upsell clients. You know, like, it's one of the things that I wish that the educational system here, and America, again, I'm going to go back to America. As part of the course in America is you have to learn how to sell products, how to upsell clients, how to book in the next appointment, right? The amount of people that I've watched come in my shop, cut hair, or go into other shops, because I go to different shops regularly to visit barbers or get my trim by barbers, and there's no upsell. They have products sitting on the shelf in dust, you know, and they're not trying to sell the product, you know. So why buy products if you don't want to sell it? It's an extra revenue, you know. Like my haircut is about £20 and the product's 10. So why would I not want to take 30 instead of 20? You know, like, you're giving them a good product they're going to go home with and style their hair with. But why would you not want to sell that? It doesn't make no sense. So a lot of barbers, it surprises me. It's almost like they're too scared to try and sell.
Well, I've been speaking to Marv, right? And
his courses are amazing. Big up Marv. His courses are amazing.
Me and him get a house on fire, bro. Right?
Yeah, he's my guy.
And I'll be saying to him, right, his courses are bang on.
And they're cheap. His courses are so cheap.
If you can't sell retail, you can't sell a haircut.
Yeah.
So if you can sell a haircut and you're a good barber, there's no reason why you can't sell products. And people seem to detach that. And it's so simple to understand. And if you can sell a wax, you can sell a cap. And if you sell a cap, you can sell a hoodie.
Sell a t-shirt.
And if you can sell a hoodie, you can sell a clipper. And if you can sell a clipper, you can sell a barber chair. And it's literally that simple, guys. And
I feel like, again, I've been in my shop where I've had barbers before, come from London School of Barbering or other academies, and yes, they can cut hair. Everybody can cut hair. Everybody can learn to cut hair. But what you can't teach someone is the communication between you and the client. And so you can't cut hair in silence and expect the client to buy a product, a cap or whatever, and before you know it, leave.
Just because he saw it, you got to sell it to him.
You got to use it in their hair, and sell it to them. You know, like big up Biggie Barber in my shop. She's been buying styling powders and selling out 48 at a time. Boom, boom, boom. Because she's using it. She's using her social media marketing. She's selling every day and it's moving because she's utilizing her skill set. And so a lot of barbers can cut hair. Everyone can cut hair. That's great. But while you're cutting hair, book your next client in, sell them a wax or a beard oil, sell them a t-shirt or a cap. You know, sell them something that you have that is going to help you have some residual income. Why? If you look at some of the barbers in America who are so big, these guys are living in big houses. Look at Pacino, for example, right? Pacino created a hair product that has now made him a multi-millionaire. And the hair product, I mean, I've used hair product. They're good. They're about as good as everything that we use out here. So what made him different is he knew how to sell his product. He knew how to bring his product to market. And same with Bossio with his shaving gel. His shaving gel is amazing, but what makes Bossio shaving gel is that bottle, that tip. So shaving gel. But he knows how to sell his shaving gel. And we buy his shaving gel from America when we got shaving gel in the shop. Yeah. Because he knows how to sell it.
Well, again, that brings me on to my next question. Expanding the JK Barber brand. What's your plans now? Anything exclusive you want to put in? Are you going to grow from inside JK the Barber, or are you going to look to open another shop?
I think one of the things I learned the most in this industry is from my good friend Bodie Barbers, who's got 3 stores, and FFA has got 2 stores. I see how hard it is to run multiple stores. You know, that Bodie's got 3 and you got to go to individually to different stores. I feel like if I had a different store, I would lose my identity in the second store because JK the Barber is me. And so if I'm not there, just like, you know, Sweeney Shop is you, and if Sean's not there, it's not the same. So if I'm being pulled from 2 shops, I don't think that it would have the same community impact as I have where I am now. I would like to definitely grow within the shop.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. What do you think the best way is to grow from within inside the shop? Obviously,
apprentices. You take on apprentices. Yeah, take on apprentices and develop barbers. You know. Have you ever
thought about opening your own academy?
Yeah, so actually I was talking to Tyreek Jackson because I like the way Tyreek Jackson teaches. I like the way Bossio teaches. And so I was looking at opening an academy with the education from America and try and work a curriculum that works in America. And I don't think BTCT or City and Guilds will allow me to teach it that way, but I don't care about their certificate.
Just to jump in, Tyreek Jackson was one of my previous interviews.
Yeah, I see. And he's dope. Like, Tyreek is dope. Like, me and him talk all the time. Tyreek Talk Tuesdays. If you don't follow that, go and follow that.
I'm on it, bro. I'm on it.
Yeah. And so, for me, the way I'm not interested in giving someone an MVQ because, as you know, a piece of paper means nothing. Like, I got my level 3 here the other day sitting on the paperwork here, but having paperwork in this country means nothing if you can't cut hair.
Your level 3 is in here, brother. That's your level 3 in there, mate.
Exactly. And so for me, there's loads of the elements of barbering, like London School of Barbering, you know, they do a course for 9 weeks, or Total Barber, or any other academies are 9 weeks. And you just cutting hair, boom, 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 and you're out the door in 9 weeks, right? But there's no education to upselling products, hygiene, like really going into depth in hygiene. How to manage, because one of the things I teach my team is if you can't run your chair as a business, you have no chance of running a shop. Because if you can't manage your chair, you cannot manage a shop, right? And so I told my team, every chair that you have, this is your shop. So you need to manage this. Just because your name's not above the door, it doesn't mean nothing. Because you could be super successful in running a chair and making a lot of money from running a chair than running a shop. But if you can't manage your chair, you can't manage your times, you can't manage your appointments, you can't manage your finances, you can't run a shop. And so these are things I think that need to be taught in education, how to learn a lot of these things. And so Tyreek and Bossio have an academy who teaches a lot of that stuff, you know, how to create a product in your brain and take it to market. So I would like to do an academy. Part of me going to CT this year was to sit down with these guys and look at how the potential is. 2022, I'm definitely bringing over Marv, I'm bringing over Vic Blends, I'm bringing over a few guys who I'm going to do tours with and do educational days.
Get me involved, bro. Get me involved.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, a lot of the educational days here are same old. and I want to bring something different. I want to bring something different, and I also want to I see a lot of barbers who struggle with different culture hair. So like for me, a lot of my Afro barbers can't cut white hair, and a lot of my white barbers can't cut Afro hair, and I feel like there's a big division between them. Whereas in America, you got to cut all hair to be a barber. You can't be licensed without being able to do all hair. And so I want to try and bridge that gap somehow through education, that cutting Afro hair ain't scary, cutting white hair ain't scary. And so, let's bridge that gap, because for me, you can't be an Afro barber and call yourself an all-round barber, and you can't be a white barber being an all-round barber.
JK, listen, I'm gonna get you on a part 2 with a couple of American barbers on good friends in OG Walker. Maybe if I can get Tyreek Jackson on with us, that'd be great as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're running out of time because I know you're a busy guy. But listen, obviously, I've been watching you as a person, not talking about your barbering, but you're losing weight, you're going to the gym every day, you're putting in some major work, you've lost loads of weight, you're looking in good shape, bro. You're the healthiest I've seen you, bro. What's been your plan over the last 6 months, brother?
So lockdown was bad for me, like everyone else. I know you know more than anyone. I put on that 10 kg in lockdown, and it was bad for me. I got to a point where I was like, enough is enough. I took the decision to have a weight loss surgery in February. I've now done nearly...
How was that, bro?
It was a tough decision to make, because it's not an easy route. Anyone who thinks it's an easy route is not, because my stomach is like the size of my phone now. Like it's super small. I can't eat big portions of foods. It's painful at times, but for me, it was a decision I had to make for my own health. I feel like I added maybe 5-10 years of my life, because I went to 145 kg. I've done almost 6 stone now. So I'm the healthiest I feel. I feel the most confident, more energetic, and more happiest, really, to be honest. And so I feel happier coming into my shop now, not feeling so overweight and tired and lethargic. And I feel like I'm in a far better place now due to weight loss. So it's easy in our industry to eat crap and to put on weight and to have a mental breakdown in this industry, because we carry our work home. It doesn't stay in the shop. Your clients will message you, and you know more than anyone, we take this stuff home with us. So it's easy to kind of just go in a bad place. And so I got into a dark place in lockdown, and I came through the other end. These last 6 months have been amazing, and onwards and upwards from now, bro.
So what's next for you? What's the next plans over the next 2 years? What? Because I know you're going to be going to America. Listen, if you can get me a ticket, bro, I'll fucking jump on a flight.
Yeah, listen, if Joe Biden allows us to come in, I haven't given up hope of going to CT Expo on the 15th of August. Right now, I'll be waiting until the 14th of August. If he says you can fly in there, I'm gone. So definitely to go to America. If not for CT Expo, then definitely for Las Vegas Expo. Big up Iced Out Barber. She has a show in December in Las Vegas. Jackie Star. Yeah, my girl Jackie Star. She's got a show in December. So I'll definitely be in Vegas in December for that. But for me, 2022 is all about bringing the education to the UK, opening that, carrying on with my homeless projects. I do a lot of prison ministry. I'm trying to get some of the boys out of prison and learn barbering, because again, it's a great industry to get into. And so that's my plan really. Is to
and do you know what I've noticed? Do you know what I've noticed about people who do barbering in prison? They got the hunger for it when they come out.
Yeah.
Which is
because you know what it is?
What the students haven't got.
This because you know this country, unfortunately, is when you have that X against your name, it's hard to get car insurance, hard to get a job. I got fired. One of the reasons why I opened my shop against the advice from my barber was I got fired from 2 different barber jobs because I had probation on a Monday. And so I was like, listen, I can't keep getting fired. I got probation. They're going to keep firing me. So what I did? I opened my own shop. And so I learned pretty much on the job. And so the beautiful thing about prisoners who learn that is because they don't need to go and apply. They can go and open their own business, go rent a chair, and that's their business. So they don't need to get the approval for someone or get the rejection because you've got a criminal record. You go rent a chair, no one cares. You rent a chair, you cut your hair, you run your business, be successful, and so you're good to go. And that's one thing about this industry that I love. No one can judge you for that. You don't have to be employed by anybody. Go rent a chair and be your own boss. So I feel like this industry can offer a lot of people, from the homeless to addictions to ex-prisoners. They can offer them so many different options to get into the game that other industries don't.
Well, bro, listen, I went into Cardiff a couple of weeks ago to give haircuts to the homeless, and they were all loving it. And I'm not seeing many barbers doing that at the moment, only me and you. And just want to just say to you, last time I saw you doing stuff, you were getting homeless guys some trainers, a local guy by your shop. You went and got him some trainers. I don't see anybody doing that anymore.
There are some people, but I think one of the things that if you do these things, and I will say it to anyone, is just don't film it. Like, like go and do your thing in private. No, like there's nothing worse than I see people going up to a homeless man and say, here's £5, but filming. Like no one needs to see that. Just do the gift, do the generosity, because the reward is here. It's in your heart, right? It's not for social media to see. I mean, that film that you saw, I actually had to do it because I was trying to talk to a sponsor called Londis, Cost Cutter. And they didn't believe that I did it. And I was asking them, look, yo, can I get a load of long life food? And so they were like, okay, well, let me show me that you're actually doing something so I can believe it. So I didn't want to film it because I hate filming that stuff, because I don't feel like you should, intrude the person's private space by filming them and showing them you're giving them trainers and food and stuff like that. So I did it. It helped me get sponsors. Big up Franco Manco, who gave us pizzas and Londis for food. But when I do it now, I just do it without people seeing it. Like it's the best way. Like if ever you want me to come up to Cardiff and join you, hit the streets, we go and do that together. So I feel like any barber who wants to give back to the community, go and hit the homeless people, go and hit kids' homes who are broke and poor. Go and do all of that for those people, and just don't film it. Just do it and get fulfillment in your heart.
That's right, brother. And the thing is the community is what brings the barbers their bread and butter. So if you don't give back and you're a quiet barbershop and you're thinking to yourself, well, why are we so quiet? We put the market out, we put this out and the other. Sometimes you've got to put some love out there. And this is what people don't realize is doing one little thing where going out and helping a homeless person, or, the old guy who can't get to the barbershop, putting the extra work in as a barber will bring that energy back into your shop and create a good business.
Like I saw in lockdown, like a lot of people came out of lockdown and increased their prices, right? I mean, me personally, that's bonkers. Like, why would you increase your price when we all just went through a recession, right? Everybody lost money. So coming out of lockdown, people ain't got no money. There's some families who are not coming to me weekly now because they ain't got no money, or coming to me bi-weekly, or they're taking longer for their haircuts now because they're not able to afford it. So we've had to give certain people some discounts and say, yo, we appreciate you coming to us for the last few years. Here's a $5 off, or here's a $10 off, or whatever, because we want you to still come and get your haircut. We still want you to have that feeling and be inspired by a haircut, but we're not going to alienate you because you can't afford it. Give back to the people that made you where you are. And a lot of barbers came out and increased their prices. I'm like, how do you do that? No one's got no money.
Well, back in the day with the 2008 recession, a lot of barbers were doing flyers where they were doing father's haircut plus 2 children, but a discounted price, rather than paying full whack. Where on this lockdown, we opened back up and you don't see any promotions for deals or anything like that. No one was doing deals. Everyone was charging full whack.
Or more.
Listen, I've got an established business of 27 years, bro. I don't even need to advertise.
Yeah.
I was hit by it.
Yeah. And we just did a flyer recently. We got a lot of campaign. And so we did a flyer for 50% off any new client that comes into the shop, right? I mean, big up Biggie Barber today. She cut 2 kids today at half price. And kids are hard to cut. But guess what? Those parents are going to come back now because the kids love that trim. And they're like, okay, well, 50% off is a great deal. We're going to use, and we had such a great feedback on this investment of flyers. Now, I hate flyers. I don't think flyers work for anybody, but you got to do it twice a year anyway. But we had such a great response for the flyers. It was worth the money. But not more importantly is we've now got new clients from these flyers that are going to come back because the shop has got a great atmosphere. And so you can't keep robbing the clients for more money when everybody's broke. Not everybody can afford the prices that we charge. But sometimes you have to say to yourself, okay, well, look, is it worth me dropping £5 to keep Sean as my client? Or should I hit him for £5 more and lose him? You've got to go above and beyond for your clientele. You have to. You got to come in early, stay late. You got to offer a little discount here and there. Give them a free hair product. Do something to maintain that clientele. And that's unfortunately what a lot of people don't do.
Definitely, brother. Definitely. Anyway, brother, we're coming up to half past. I know you're a very, very busy guy.
Yeah, no, we're good. We're good. Yeah.
Listen, keep training, keep doing what you're doing.
Appreciate you, my bro.
Listen, if you get a spare ticket for the CT Expo, bro, listen, I got the
No, the ticket ain't a problem. I can get you the ticket. Is that we can't get into the country at the minute.
I know.
So
what about if you fly into Canada?
No, you got
Canada.
You've got to fly outside of the UK for 14 days and then go. So that's the problem. So I'm hoping that tomorrow there's an announcement about different countries, and the pressure is on Biden at the minute to let UK in, because right now we're letting the US in, because as I said, I've got 3 big stars from music who are here this week performing this Sunday, and they came in, they got isolated 5 days, whereas if they allow us to go there, then J Major knows I'm gonna be on his head, because I'll be right there at CT Expo without a doubt. Like, even if I can make it for the second day, I'll be there. So as long as I can get there, man, I will be there. So if we can fly there, you'll be right on the plane with me next door.
Cool, brother. Listen, they have, well, I know it's not J Majors, but they have something over in Spain as well. Remember you were talking about going there before?
Yeah. Again, but right now
we'll hit that place at Barcelona.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see whether they're going to put Spain in the red list, because if they do, then we can't go to that show. But if they don't, go to that show. So most definitely. But listen, I want to say something, because I know lockdown was tough for you, bro. And I know I reached out to you, and I'm sure a lot of people did. And I just want to say that I'm so glad that you came out the other end and you're still the same Sean that was before this lockdown. And so, bro, my hat's off to you, because you came through a real dark time and came out and fought the companies who dropped you, because we don't need them. You know, because they should have been supporting you when you went through that time. So fuck those companies, you know who they are. I'm just so proud of you to have come through that end, bro.
Bro, listen, like when we went on the lockdown, my girlfriend split with me. My ex-girlfriend, who was trying to get back with me, she was giving me shit. She got pregnant, so my head was fucked from that. So I didn't even know if it's my kid. I don't know what the fuck's going on. And then obviously I got dropped by Kenshi Blades. British Master Barbers dropped me, but they took me back. Everybody else just fucked me off, and they were all saying I'm cutting out outside the shop and this, that, and the other. And my head was gone. I got arrested.
Yeah, I see, yeah.
And, you know, they tried to do me for assaulting a police officer, even though he assaulted me. And, bro, yeah, my head was in a bad way, man. But I went spiritual. I started meditating. I started looking into magic. I started, like, protecting myself and looking at what's going on. And I've come out the other side. And
you have, bro. And look, your business.
Thank you for supporting me as well, bro. I know
always, bro. Like, you've always been there for me. So, like, and look, it's good to see the business back open, your team's with you, and like I said, the companies who dropped you, if they don't want you, that's their business, you know, because you've got lots to offer the industry. So,
bro, I've had bigger offers. I've had way bigger offers. Squire wants to be one of their champions. I said no. Listen, I'm an ambassador for Sweeney's Barbershop, SweeneyTV, and Sean's.
And the biggest ambassador you ask for your clients, my bro. So they're the ones who supported you through the lockdown, after the lockdown, and they're still there with you now. You know, so that's the most important thing. 100%, bro.
I'm making good money. You know, the shop's doing really well. And I just want to say thank you for coming on the show, JK.
My pleasure, bro. My pleasure. Hopefully the next time I'll be on the show will be in CT Expo. God willing, we'll be there.
Listen, we're going to go. Listen, if I don't come with you, you're going live on here.
Yeah. I already got your shopping list. I know exactly what I've got to buy you out there. So,
because the last time we interviewed, what a lot of people would be watching this back. The last time we interviewed, you were actually in New York, and I was interviewing you.
Yes.
And I had tonsillitis at the time, so my neck was here. So I'm like wearing some mad shades. But fair play to you, JK. You gave a wicked interview. You know, you talked about all the big barbers over there, and you gave a good insight. And thank you.
Yeah, this time I'll be putting them all on the camera with me. So, you know, hopefully we get to go out there. But if not, we'll be at CT. I will be at Vegas Expo in December. So either way, we'll definitely get to the American show this year. And hopefully we'll get Salon International this year too. Hopefully, if all going well.
I'm already booked the Salon anyway. I've got a few.
Yeah. So hopefully, God willing, there's no lockdown, and we're all there for Salon this year, because we all need a big show. So that'd be dope, and we'll have a link up.
Definitely, JK signing out.
Pleasure, bro. Always. You know, I support the team all the time. So keep doing your thing, my bro.
Thank you, my brother. Diolch yn fawr, and I'll speak to you soon.
All right, love, bro.
Cheers, JK. Thank you, my
Bye. Bye.
So Sweeney TV, Sweeney HQ, Sean Fish Sweeney. That was JK the Barber, London Don, one of my G's. And we were talking about Fast and Furious 9 shows, the US barbers, and so on. Anyway, guys, for all of you guys watching, we've got some big shows coming up. Chris Foster's on the line next. So check that out. Chris Foster's one of the biggest guys in our industry. So make sure you watch that, guys. Take care. We out.